Hi there, this is the Disgruntled Monkey with a vlog for the 17th of the 11th, 2013. Today I'll be talking about the video games that I'm playing currently at the moment, which is Silent Hill, Book of Memories, Final Fantasy Realm Reborn, and The Binding of Isaac. First off, I'd like to actually talk a little bit about Silent Hill, Book of Memories, which is for the Vita. Now, the Silent Hill series has taken a, shall we say, I wouldn't say a plunge in quality. I think the games are always, done to the highest standards of whatever team is actually doing it, but it's definitely gone away from, well, the likes of Silent Hill 2, which I mentioned in a previous vlog is my favourite game of all time. So it was getting into Silent Hill Book of Memories. I got it because it was cheap. I was a little bit worried. It's a top-down perspective, going through rooms in the nightmare world of Silent Hill, beating up bad guys. Doesn't really sound much like Silent Hill at all. But surprisingly, it's a pretty good game. Now, there was a patch that I had to install, well, didn't have to install, but that was there for the Vita version, put that on, and apparently it has actually lowered the difficulty of the game. It has made things a little bit fairer. I've heard that the version beforehand was incredibly hard and very cheap, one-hit kills and that kind of thing. I can see why people just didn't like the game, walked away from it. Honestly, I'm having a ball with this, I just gotta kind of get into my mind, it's not Silent Hill 2, it's not that kind of psychological horror, but it is fun. Getting a flaming fire sword off a fire guardian and using it on evil nurses with steel pipes, there's something satisfying about that, including the devil dogs and everything like that. So if you actually see it for cheap out there, I know in Australia, every time I see it in the stores, it's like $40, which is a bit of an investment for a game which you may or may not like. I actually picked mine up for $14 off Amazon, so I would seriously consider giving it a go. It's fun for people who like Silent Hill. There is, of course, seeing all the monsters in the realms and everything like that. There is a bit of lore to it. Apparently, there's a postman character in Silent Hill Downpour. I haven't played that appears in this game, and apparently his background is given more in depth in this one. So, look, honestly, I'd give it a thumbs up. Get out there. I might review it after I finished it, though I'm really far away from that, but all I can say is I'm having a lot of fun. The next game, The Binding of Isaac. Now, a little bit behind the train on this one. It's already been out, it's already had DSL, The Wrath of Lamb. I love it. It's like a little indie game which I got off Steam for relatively cheap, and people have mentioned that it's like roguelike. As you do more and more things in the dungeons, you unlock more things to discover, which come in really handy in the game. And the idea is you play little boy Isaac, and it's basically taking the story of Isaac from the Bible, parent or father, I believe in the Bible, mother in this case, trying to kill his son because God commanded her to. And it is, the art style is really cute. There is something to Isaac which is just this little cute little guy, you feel sorry for him because he fights monsters with his tears. So he's got like little water streaming down there, and yet it is so disturbing. Cute style of animation, but just the ideas in it are absolutely horrifying. It may not be to everyone's cup of tea if you do not like kind of graphic ideas. Um, One of the least graphic ideas is that you have like a little bar of hearts up the top, which is your HP, and you can raise it through various things. One of the things is eating garbage, and you've got your flies and everything like that. Um, some of the rooms actually have shit piles, you know, uh, and you can throw your tears at them and slowly disintegrate it, and there might be treasure. That's right. Look through shit and get treasure. It's not everyone's cup of tea, um, but it is fun. So not only is it the roguelike element, but if you think Zelda, the original, going through the dungeons and everything like that, going from room to room, slowly mapping out, finding where the boss is, and all. Really fun, love it. I've beaten it once, and now it's opened up like an extra ending, so I'm like currently trying to play through that. I did get the DLC as well, adds so much items and all that. Real fun. It is cheap on Steam. If you haven't heard of it, if you haven't tried it, and what I've said sounds interesting, get it. Really support, the game. It is fantastic. And that brings me to Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn. Now, this is an MMO. It is a paid subscription. I managed to get... I won a competition. Yay me. And I got the Realm Reborn. And I thought, oh, that's cool. It came with a 30-day free subscription to play it, so hopped on. It's pretty. It really is a very pretty game. It's the same with Final Fantasy 13. I got the first one. It was pretty. And then I just don't think Final Fantasy games are for me. There's this... Especially 13. 13 was boring. The story didn't make much sense to me. I couldn't give a crap about the characters at all. And I didn't even bother finishing it. I got about 10 hours in. And I kept on hearing from people, oh no, if you get to I think some people said 40-hour mark. It really opens up, and but you're just in the tutorial at the moment. What? I'm 10 hours in and I'm still in a tutorial. Yeah. Anyway, the yes, we are very professional here. Oh, speaking of professional, I've got a little mic now. See, so you'll be able to hear me better. Anyway, Final Fantasy: A Realm Reborn, Final Fantasy 14. I started playing it. I got into it. I get into most MMOs. There's just something... this may not sound like the healthiest of endorsements, but I kind of get very mindless with MMOs. However, I've gotten to about level 20, and I've got into a series of quests, story quests, that force me to go on instances. I hate that. It's like I wanted to try to experience as much of the story as possible, and I've never played an MMO that has forced you to do an instance. I'm sure there are some people out there who will tell me that you had to do an instance for this, or you had to do an instance for that. But I mean, even in WoW, the first instance that you get given, while it seems part of the story, you can actually you just circumvent it and continue on with the story. And that's what's so annoying. I cannot continue the story unless I do these instances. And I mean, I think MMOs, let me take you on a history tour. Back when I first played World of Warcraft, I was a young boy, naive. I trusted people. I played my troll, and I went out into the world. And within the first play session, I was picked off by a night elf, who then proceeded to camp and follow me and find me and kill me. I think at the end of the session he killed me about 10 times before I just quit. And that taught me an important lesson. Do not, under any circumstances, trust anyone on the internet, because they're a bunch of dicks. And I have done instances, but honestly I've tried to avoid them at all costs because people are just dicks. Now, I'm not the best player in the world, and other like circumstances, like I just play my character and I make my character how I want to make it, and I try and make him the best to play for me. And because I was a warrior, everyone thought warrior arms. I just like some of the skills in arms. Everyone was like, "Oh, you're a tank." Get in the instance, and like I've had this sour taste of just people hunting me down, killing me. Get to the first instance. And I say, I don't know what a tank is. I don't know, I've made this character as a single player character. I'm just doing what I'm doing to have fun. And I go in thing, and I suck. I suck as a tank, but everyone's saying, you've got to be the tank because you're this. And I've told them up front, I don't know what a tank is, I don't know what I'm doing. And at the end of it, oh god, you suck. The abuse was massive. And it's like, how can you abuse me when I told you I don't know what I'm doing? You've forced me to be this role, even though I've told you I don't know what I'm doing. And then you scream at me, insult me, because I don't know what I'm doing. If I went in there and said, oh yeah, I'm the best tank in the world. Oh yeah, I'm like the Clint Eastwood. Get off my lawn. Off tanks. Off tanks. And then fine, give me crap. But when someone tells you before you even start the instance, hey, don't look at me, I'm not good at this, if you want me to walk away, that's cool, I understand. No, you come with us, you'll be a tank. I should have realized from there. And pretty much this has soured me on instances. I like MMO, I like immersing myself in the worlds, I like actually running with guilds. I find myself trying to be useful to the guild in other ways, crafting stuff like that, give them bags so that when newbies come in, they instantly got bags. I did actually find quite a nice social guild, and it's not the socializing. If you find some people that you like talking to online while you're playing, that's awesome. That is what I want from an MMO. And I like these games. Guild Wars 2 is excellent as well. I don't do the instances, but I love the big epic events that happen, and you kind of join together. It's not forcing you. It's like there's a big monster, and suddenly everyone just piles in, and it's fun, and it feels like epic. But I just, I try and avoid the instances because I know I'm not that good a player. And now I'm in this MMO, which I haven't minded so far, and now it's forcing me to do something which no other MMO I've played has forced me to do. And yeah, I've done the first instance, and I didn't really have fun. We did well, but I didn't have fun. And from what I've seen, I've got 2 more instances to do before I can actually continue the story. So it's really derailed the Final Fantasy, and I kept on playing for the story because the crafting sucks. It is so slow. I'm only doing mining on the Final Fantasy because it's easy. I get a bit of money. That's it. The other stuff, the crafting, the armor crafting, the system itself is fine. It's just, it's you get up and you go select, craft. Select, craft. And you can't even press the craft again, just to kind of continue what you're doing. No, you've got to keep on selecting stuff, craft, selecting stuff, craft, selecting stuff, craft. And then when you get into the craft bit, you've actually even got to, press, 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 press. Okay, you've got one item done. Let's select craft, press, press, press. It takes so long, and I've heard that like there are skills that manage to make it a bit faster, but at the moment, like it is boring. It is time wasting. It is exactly what they're putting into the system to make sure that you burn through your subscription. It is truly a massive waste of time. They do have what they call fates in the game, which are pretty fun. It's like events in guild wars. Everyone kind of pile in. But honestly, like if you've played one MMO, you've played Final Fantasy, and honestly, the things that I like are done better in other games. So I would avoid it. Plus, still that paid subscription. I might have been fairer to it. I might have played it a bit more if it was like free to play. But this ain't World of Warcraft, and I haven't gone back to World of Warcraft now because I just, that's the only one that I would pay for, and even that is kind of like, yeah, I don't want to do it anymore. So those are the 3 games that I've been playing. Still playing lots of Binding of Isaac. Still playing Silent Hill Book of Memories. I think I might go back to Batman Arkham Origins and get all the Riddler stuff and bring all people back to justice because Final Fantasy is boring. I also might try and get into start playing Skylanders Giants. Swap Force is out. The wife is playing Swap Force, and normally I wait for her to finish a game in the Skylanders series before I play it, so she can actually go through the story. So, and I don't ruin anything for her that way. So, now she's moved on to Swap Force. I'll get into Giants. Yeah, so that should be fun. I like platformers. So, there we go. I am the Disgruntled Monkey, and this has been my vlog for the 17th of the 11th, 2013. Thank you for watching.